Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Ooh-wee. We have been rolling today.
Mm-hmm.
We have been rolling today. So we are going to keep things rolling. She's back.
It's time for the main event. The magical winds of the Windy City have brought us Mic Drop Moran.
You got it.
On a twisted tripped out Tuesday, on a twisted taco Tuesday, I beg your pardon. All right, let's be serious for a few moments. We opened the show with Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark both having stalkers.
Yeah.
And the judgment against the men who stalked them, which I think should be worse.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts about this, and let's go from there. You're kind of muted, Allie.
I think you missed it.
Allie, check your mic.
Oh no, it seems her mic just died because it does say her mic is muted.
Having weird. I apologize. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we have you.
Yes, sorry. Sorry about that. My, I kid you not. My mother, 97 years old, calls me at the same time that this is going on. And
wow.
Are you there? Are you? My mother calls me. Betty Moore, I told you I was on at 11:30 this morning.
Oh, you know what? I was when I was doing the show at Starbucks in Edinburgh during last summer. My wife did that to me. I was in the middle of and you know what's bad? And Victor, you remember this. I was in the middle of a Cowboys rant.
Yes, you were.
When I see my wife's beautiful face pop on the screen. So of course I took the call and Jody and I talked for 15 minutes.
God almighty.
The amount of times I've heard Jody screaming in the background is just hilarious.
It's ridiculous.
You're not calling the game right.
I'm working. Okay. I love you, but I'm working.
She comes up to him during Colts games when they're losing. He's like, she's like, you're not calling the game right, are you?
Exactly. The Colts would be losing, and Allie has worked with me. Allie has been my color commentator a few times. Matter of fact, she did it the first 2 years we were together covering the Sky in Chicago. And I don't like I see it. She knows my inspiration is Jim Durham. So does Jody.
Absolutely.
What does Jody do? Jody picks on me every time. And the Colts would make a stupid play, and we'd hear her in the bedroom screaming her head off.
Right.
And then she'll scream her head off and then march right out to me and say, Mister, you're not calling the game right.
God.
That should be a bring back for our calls. Just
Listen, I'm working on a few of them. Okay.
But Alison, I wanted to ask you. We got to get your answer first about.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. You were talking about Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark and the stalkers.
Yep.
You know, there's been stalkers since the beginning of time. All right. You know, somebody does something wonderful. A person with mental health issues gets a hold of that kind of information, starts fixating on you. It actually happened to me as well in my first job. When I was an intern at BEZ, I took over the mic for my boss when he lost his voice due to an infection, and this fella I'm sure he was very sweet in his real life and all that kind of stuff. But he sent me a 6-page letter telling me how wonderful I was. And, he actually, I had a full-time job at a homeless shelter, and he called every homeless shelter in the city until he found me.
Oh
And
my
Yikes.
yeah, so I can somewhat identify with what happened with Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark. Here's the deal. They had it on a much bigger scale. I told this guy very politely, get a life. In the kindest and nicest way possible. I said, your circle is much bigger than you think, and you can have a really wonderful life. I just report. I'm not anybody.
Right. Right.
I had it easy. I gotta say, I had it easy. But the thing is that it's the downside of having the kind of success that Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark have both had.
Right.
And unfortunately, some people are truly deranged, and my heart goes out to them. They're going to have to beef up security. They're going to have to make sure that their whereabouts are maybe less known, less visible. People are now, they're going to have to be scrutinized a lot more carefully by security when they're playing somewhere. It's really an isolating thing for the players. First of all, you've reached a certain level. You really don't want this kind of experience,
No.
right?
No.
And yeah, it's just, it's something. It's the downside of fame, and no matter what level of fame you are, if you have some kind of a recognition and some kind of a familiarity or a comfort level with fans, this is unfortunately going to happen. And
both sides of the coin too.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
It's both sides of the coin too.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's something I brought up earlier about how this is going to make it a lot harder for female athletes to really want to be in the limelight because of stuff like this. And what really got to me was the age, particularly in the Caitlin Clark situation. This is a 55-year-old man sending what was described as sexually violent messages to a 22-year-old girl, a 22-year-old woman.
Now that's sick. Like, that's just sick.
Why would you do that? I mean, obviously you don't. Obviously he doesn't have any daughters, because the first thing you would think about is, what if someone sent this to my daughter?
Yeah.
How would I react?
I'm sorry.
I look.
Mama's this mama's heart. Mama's heart is raging right now. So no, don't worry.
Like I said earlier, I am a girl dad and a proud girl dad of 4 daughters. Anybody come near my family,
you already know my sister. You already know who my sister is.
Yeah,
you are.
Anybody comes near my family, they'll find out why my wife calls me the dragon.
Absolutely. You breathe fire. You breathe fire, Brian.
I'm lucky my parents wanted only 2 kids. So I'm the youngest of 2. I have an older sister. And if some creep tries to get up on her, I might be in cuffs by the end of the night. Let's just say that.
Listen, I'll be in cuffs in the next couple of hours. Allie and Victor know how fiercely protective I am of the circle of friends that I have.
Yes.
All right. Because someone tried coming after Victor and they ran into my crazy ass.
Oh my God, Victor! No,
we were at Chicago State. Victor was having an awful day, but we had a game that night, and he was to be my color commentator. I get a call from him saying, you need to get to the library quick.
Yeah.
I fly into the library, and
That's the one thing you
someone
never want to hear is
was
quick.
someone was pushing up on Victor.
Yeah.
No.
I flew in and lariated his ass.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you,
I
Brian.
didn't ask any questions. I didn't think about it. I saw someone threatening my friend, and I flew in and clotheslined him.
You protect your own.
You better believe it, without a second thought. So, of course, the police come flying while I have this guy wrapped up like a pretzel.
Mhm. Good for you.
Victor will tell you, he was screaming that I was the aggressor. No, you were the aggressor pushing up on my friend.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah. 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 You've just got to watch yourself these days. I know I developed a habit of thrusting out my elbows. For some reason, that's just my reaction is I'm going like this. If somebody tries to like push up on me and I get,
right.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm pretty solidly built. I have lots of muscle. And so if I start jabbing like this, it's going to be your problem, not mine.
There you go.
Yeah.
Despite all this, I wanted to ask you about PWHL. Brian's making his PWHL call debut tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. He's calling the Toronto Scepters at the Ottawa Charge.
Nice.
And I am apparently now a scheduled person, so I wanted to talk to you about these women's college basketball games I have scheduled for him.
We had it on the docket.
Awesome. I'm there if you need me, baby.
He of course has number 5. He had number 5 Texas and number 2 South Carolina this Sunday, which is a few days ago now.
Yeah.
Entertaining game, honestly, really entertaining game from
tip
time to the end. My next game I have for him is a 2 p.m. Eastern tip time, and it's the University of Kentucky, number 15 ranked, at the University of Georgia.
Oh, that'll be an interesting one.
Yeah.
And
I remember how they performed in the women's college basketball tournament last season, and I remember that. So I was thinking, let's see what happens with this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Take a shot.
I'll tell you.
That's why I handed him scheduling duties. Okay.
Absolutely.
He can pick off
good man.
Better than I can. And I'm learning to trust my team. But
absolutely.
Georgia in Athens.
Well, here's the thing is that they're not in the top 10. So they're going to be fierce. Yeah. First of all, they are going to give a performance, especially in the home crowd. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
Yeah. January 26th, I have number 11 TCU taking a trip to Oklahoma State University.
Oh, yeah.
Arena.
7:30 p.m. tip time.
Now that's a two-state rivalry. I mean, everybody in Texas hates Oklahoma, and everybody in Oklahoma hates Texas.
Yes.
So the fans are idiotic. I mean, they just. I mean, it's like getting the Cubs and Cardinals fans together.
Lord.
It's great. Yeah. Oh man. Now that's exciting. That's going to be exciting. I wanted to talk a little bit about UCLA while we're talking about the women's top.
That's one of the games we had.
Lauren's bets.
The 9th and 15th. This is going to be on Thursday, which is normally the NHL games. But number 1 UCLA taking a trip down south. Actually, not even too far. In LA, so it's basically LA versus USC. LA against number 4 USC, a 10 p.m.
Oh my God, that is going to be fabulous. Now, there is the game. Let me ask this because I don't know this. Did the game get pushed to a different location? And shout out to LA and what they're going through right now, because Their game tonight against Penn State is being played at Long Beach State instead of it, and they had to cancel their game against Northwestern. UCLA did on Sunday because of the fires. So
This
it's
is
so
at the Gallon Center in Los Angeles, California.
I can't.
Still set to host it.
I cannot wait to see Lauren Betts again. That's 6'7". Where did she get 6'7"? I mean, my God, she's the
There's
reason.
gotta be some meaning behind that.
There is. It's and I was looking at her bio, and God only knows. I mean, God only knows where that height came from, because her parents were athletes, no question. But her dad isn't 6'7". So I don't know if it's the water. I don't. I just don't. But the thing that she had was she has the Stanford burnish coming to UCLA, and I'm going to credit so much of what UCLA, who has been on the top for how long now, for 12, 13 weeks, something like that. They have not really been a factor in previous years in the same way that they are a factor now. I mean, it's like back in the John Wooden days, let's put it that way. And this is astonishing. They're 16-0, and now they're going up against all of the, the Big Ten opponents and things like that. It's incredible. And to get UCLA versus USC with Juju Watkins, that wonderful amazing sophomore. I pray she doesn't come out early. I really do.
I pray for that too.
Teams are undefeated in the conference play. USC being 6-0, UCLA being 5-0. This one's a little interesting one for February 2nd. Creighton at Butler.
Ooh,
That's
a mean one. That's going to be a mean one to me.
Blue Jays and Bulldogs.
Hate each other.
Yes, they do. And in that conference, there is blood. There is blood there. And I'll add another one to the mix there. And that is the Drake Bulldogs, because they're my team.
I'm KU. So Drake has been
I've seen Drake in person. When I was coming to Chicago State, I did a game at Drake. Boy, that place is serious, man.
And it's not only that division's having big games upcoming. We got another big game that's on that same Thursday of UCLA and USC. You got a Mountain West matchup between two of the biggest basketball schools in the Mountain West, Boise State and New Mexico.
Yes.
Having insanely strong season.
Is that in the pit?
That's in the Thursday pit. That's at 8. That's at 9 p.m.
Good.
Eastern.
I want you to put that game in capital letters for me, because.
But here's the problem. That's on the same day as UCLA USC.
Yeah.
What time is the New Mexico game?
9 p.m.
And the USC UCLA game?
Watch this.
10 p.m.
Watch this. 10. I have two monitors in front of me. Vic has ridden shotgun with me when I've done both games. Both of them are getting called.
You want me shotgun?
Yes.
If you want to ride shotgun, I have number 7.
I want Allie to ride shotgun. I want everybody. I want everybody here when I call both those games, because
that's gonna be a problem. I got work.
Tell him you got
Colin's sick.
Yes.
Colin's sick.
I've done it before. Well, no, I can't say that because my bosses watch the show.
Okay. Fair enough.
I have and then the best part. There's another game that day, a very big game, and it's an SEC game. It's number 7 Texas Longhorns against 12 Kentucky Wildcats. The same day. It is a massive day in women's college basketball.
Yes, it is.
What day is that?
That is Thursday, February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. So you're getting treated the day
crap.
before Valentine's Day.
What time
We
is
got to show him some love.
What time?
We have to show love.
Each game, versus
Mhm.
each game, number 7 Texas at number 12 Kentucky. That's in Memorial Coliseum in Lexington. That's at
All
7
right.
p.m. Eastern. You got the Boise State at New Mexico in the pit. That's going to be at 9 Eastern. And then UCLA versus USC. That's going to be at 10 Eastern. So you
That.
can transition straight from
You know,
Texas, Kentucky to
I want all three of them.
UCLA, USC.
I'm gonna do something crazy. I only done it once
You act
before.
like you haven't done 3 games in a day before.
I want all 3 of them.
But you only did. And let me make this clear to the people listening to the show. Brian only did Washington, Tampa Bay because I convinced him to. He was
I
going
surely
to
was
go
gonna.
to
I
bed.
was gonna go to bed. I was. I'm like the heck with this, and I was getting ready to go to bed, and then Joy got in my ear.
Come on.
And then Joy got in my ear, and I call a walk-off doink of a field goal,
God.
And we
which
got
put
that
the
call
Washington
from,
Redskins in the divisional round, not the Washington Commanders, the Washington Redskins.
we got,
Favorite
Good
NFL
luck.
One of
but
my
you might be riding shotgun again, Allie, on the 16th of February. You know why?
Why?
2 big games. Number 6 UConn taking a trip to South Carolina in the Colonial Life Arena in Columbia, South Carolina at 1
Yes.
p.m. Eastern.
Back up,
That's a big
rewind,
game.
hold the
And
phone,
then-
stop, penalty flag on the field. You want to say that matchup again?
That is
Please.
number 6 in the nation, University of Connecticut Huskies
That's
taking on the South
UConn.
Carolina number 2 in the nation,
Oh,
number 2 South Carolina Gamecocks at 1 p.m. Eastern in the Colonial Life Arena in Columbia,
Gino
South
Auriemma.
Carolina.
UConn
Wait,
and
wait, wait,
South
wait.
Carolina.
Gino
We
Auriemma.
got to do that.
Oh,
And
my
somebody's-
God.
Hold on.
So-
In
Yes.
the Moody Center in Austin, Texas, you have
Oh.
number 5 LSU versus number 7 Texas
Texas.
Longhorns.
Wow. Those.
Allie, warm up your
Mhm.
vocal cords. Victor, Droid, and Big Dog Shane Lake, who was not with us this morning, get ready.
Oh,
And
boy.
then
I
the
will just
next-
say Jim Durham is going to be proud of me for all this practice I'm putting in.
And then, this
Absolutely.
next week, you have another
LSU
big
and
SEC game.
LSU in Texas. I get LSU in Texas. Oh hell yeah!
We have
I want
so
that one.
many big games the Sunday after that. You have LSU and Kentucky. Number 5 LSU versus number 12 Kentucky. That is February 23rd. But you also have number 3 Notre Dame taking a trip to Reynolds Coliseum in Raleigh, North
Mhm.
Carolina. Versus number 21 North Carolina State. You got number 20 West Virginia taking a trip to TCU in Fort
TCU.
Worth, Texas.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Both
God,
12 p.m. Eastern games.
Oh,
I
And
was
then-
saying,
Texas
I'm
and
sorry.
TCU. Wow.
I was thinking that TCU, have you ever seen their mascot, the horned
Yes.
frog?
Yes.
That is the scariest damn mascot in the entire NCAA.
Oh,
Now, I've seen it up close and personal. I have been hugged by the TCU horned frog.
Been hugged by
Because
a horned frog?
I was, yes. Ages ago, I went to the Texas Bowl 1,500 years ago, and it was, and he was the most friendly animal. But just look at him; it's just, oh my God! But it,
There shouldn't be
That's
a.
surprising.
There should never be a frog with horns coming out of it.
I know. But
We've all seen that. We've all seen toads like that. We've seen them.
Yes. Yes.
God,
Another
well,
big
God
game.
made them too. You know, God made the horned frogs too. So
Hey,
we
people-
gotta love them.
And then-
People
and
say the same thing about
Leslie-
Staley the bear. People say
You
the same
Yeah.
about Staley the bear being the scariest
You
mascot.
know
I
what?
love Staley.
I do too.
Doggone it, we're running out of time. But let me do this. I had the pleasure of seeing the horned frog, and the horn that they blow in Fort Worth, Texas, every time somebody scores a touchdown
Yeah.
And that thing blew off both my ears.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, and by
Lord,
the
we
way,
got a Donnie
TCU
Brook.
that day put up 51 points.
I love that.
We got Donnie
Ears.
Brooks.
Look, I had
Uh-oh.
Your ears were ringing.
Look, my ears were ringing. My head was like my late father said it best. It ain't the fact that my head hurts, it's the fact that my brain hurts. And
Yeah.
my
Yep.
brain and my head was hurting, but one of the best trips I've ever taken to Fort Worth, Texas.
Love that. Love that.
So y'all heard it
Yeah.
here. Allie is gonna ride shotgun with me for all the women's sports that we're gonna cover. We are gonna do a part 2 to this because there's more stuff that Allie wanted to cover, but we're running out of time. So Allie, if you're available tomorrow, we'd love to have you back.
Sure. Yeah. I can. I am there for you. Just tell me when to show up, and you know me. I am there.
I appreciate it. So
Always.
the token female will return tomorrow with everything else we had to cover. Thanks, Allie. Love you, girl.
All righty. Thanks, guys. Great to see you, and Happy New Year yet
Happy New
again.
Year.
Ain't no way 25 minutes went that fast and we were laughing that much.
Yep, it did.
Oh my Lord! I'm just looking at these games, and it's like, how?
Just
do
look
they
at
even allow
them,
this?
put them in a schedule, and send them to me. We gotta get out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move, and always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. Happy New Year, y'all. We're out of here. See you tomorrow. And we're going to have more fun tomorrow with Allie. But for now, for Droid, for Victor, Brian Snow here. So long, everybody.
Take care.